right, we are rolling. We are back on the Henry Podcast and Talk.
Henry Podcast and Talk.
All right. Say what's
Hello,
up.
guys. Today we're going to be talking about the next game in the Tekken series. One of the good golden standards of the series, Tekken 5.
Right on.
Can you let us know what happened at the end of Tekken 4?
So at the end of Tekken 4, Jin defeats Kazuya and Heihachi and was about to kill them, but because of his mom's kindness that he inherited, he was able to let them live and just fly off into the moon, into the moon with the black wings that he got from his devil form. And the beginning of Tekken 5 is absolutely amazing. The intro is easily one of the most iconic intros to this day because, Kazuya and Heihachi both wake up. Well, Heihachi didn't get knocked out by Jin. Kazuya got knocked out. They wake up and then they see a bunch of Jack robots from G Corporation. So from Tekken 4, G Corporation is the people who brought Kazuya back to life with the Devil Gene by using the Devil Gene that he had, but they ended up betraying him, and then Heihachi and Kazuya have easily one of the most greatest team-ups we've ever seen, with them taking down Jack robots, but eventually Kazuya betrays Heihachi, throws him to the Jack robots, and they all self-destruct, and we presumably think that Heihachi is dead, but technically he's not, because in Tekken 6 we do see him awake. He wakes up in the next game, but in this game you can play as him, but he's technically like not canon to the story at all. And so apparently we got to see Heihachi's father. He's the big bad of the series, Jinpachi Mishima. Yeah, apparently Heihachi really wanted to take control over the Mishima Zaibatsu, so he basically locked his father in the same temple that he was fighting Jin in Horanmaru, and eventually an evil spirit took over Jinpachi's body and was able to bring him back from the dead by, restarting his whole body. And so with Jinpachi having the last bit of his humanity had left, hosts the King of Iron Fist Tournament 5, hence why it's called Tekken 5, and eventually we got to see throughout the story, after Jin leaves, and because Jinpachi woke up, the Devil Gene in his body caused him to awoken and turned him into a figure that we don't really know much about, and he destroys a whole forest. And once he wakes up after the whole part, he realized that he was the one who caused this whole forest because of the Devil Gene inside of his body, and so he seeks out to win the King of Iron Fist Tournament 5 of Destiny on his side.
Wait. 5 of Destiny?
Well, no. People say that Jin is technically known as the child of Destiny in this whole entire video game series, because of all the drastic changes and turns that he takes in his life. People call him. He's known as the child of Destiny for most people in the series.
Okay, wow.
I'm looking through the book right now, and it looks like there's way more players in Tekken 5. Is that true? Oh, got you. Yeah, a little mic slip up. Are there way more players?
Well,
in Tekken 5?
It
looks like there is.
We get introduced to a lot of new characters in Tekken 5. We get introduced to Asuka, one of the main Kazama family members. Jin's mom's is a Kazama, and she has a bunch of other family members. We got meeting to one of them, and she's basically like Jin's cousin or a relative, because from the creator himself saying that. And we also get to meet characters like Fang, who is I guess, Chinese martial artist as well, who attacked Asuka's family dojo because he was on a quest to becoming the strongest of them all. And eventually Asuka goes into the tournament to get revenge for her father, but she doesn't do that but it doesn't happen in the story. And Fang, we don't really get to see much of him afterwards.
And we still have Christy Montero.
Yeah, and in order to unlock
Eddie Gordo.
Yeah, in order to unlock Eddie Gordo, you have to basically buy all of Christie's outfits, and then when you go through the store, you press triangle or just to play as Eddie Gordo in the game. I mean, for Tekken 5, it's pretty cool. It even introduces to one of my favorite characters to play with, and it's still probably much my favorite one, Devil Jin.
Oh, so you couldn't play as Devil Jin in the other games?
No, because Devil Jin wasn't really unlockable yet. People were criticizing Tekken 4 with Jin's karate-based art fighting style. So the creator was thinking, how about we just bring Tekken 3 Jin's playstyle back with Tekken 5, but we're giving it to Devil Jin, because Devil Jin fights with the Mishima style karate that Jin used from Tekken 3, and people, and it's for Devil Jin has been known for legacy players. Like, he's that character for legacy people who just want to play as the character. That they're all like, oh, you want to play Tekken 3 Jin? You have Devil Jin right here, so you can be able to do it. All the commands and everything are the same from what I played, and it's honestly pretty good to play with him. He's probably my favorite character to play with.
So who is the I guess like big bad guy in Tekken 5?
Like I said, it was Jinpachi.
Jinpachi is still.
Yeah, apparently, yeah, he's Kazuya's like grandpa, and then he's also Heihachi's father. I mean, I'm surprised that Heihachi was able. I mean, he didn't teach Heihachi these bad things. Heihachi pretty much learned the whole power thing on his own, honestly, from what we're learning so far. And he eventually takes over the Mishima Zaibatsu by locking down his father. And you see, that's the thing about Heihachi. He's a bad father. He's a bad son. He's not. He's also a bad grandfather. And great. Now he's a terrible son to the father that treated him kindly, and that's why his father doesn't like him and hates him. And then in the later Tekken Tag games, like in Tekken Tag 2, we see a whole ending of him basically going against Heihachi because he doesn't like him now for what he did to him.
Okay, wow. So Jinpachi raised Heihachi kindly with compassion.
And he also raised Kazuya kindly until Heihachi basically took all that away from him by locking his father away and killing his wife, which, has the devil gene. And he did that because he wanted to prove to Kazuya that emotions are kind of weak, which is kind of dumb. And that's why I kind of do feel bad for Kazuya, though, because he had to deal with that rough upbringing, and that's why he's the person that he is now.
What about gameplay?
Well,
4 to 5.
Well, I gotta say that when it comes to 4 to 5, I think Tekken 5 is like the gold standard when it comes to Tekken games now, because like I feel like that they did an amazing and perfect job with this game when it came to the gameplay. It's more fast paced, and it's more and the combat is a lot more better to control with either way, because a lot of these characters feel really refreshing, and they feel a lot more better from how they were in Tekken 4, where instead of the damage not doing as much as Tekken 4, Tekken 5 was able to just, go back to the same way of how Tekken 3 was. They take formulas from Tekken 3, but they improvise and improve upon them.
What are some of those like improvisations that they improved on? What are some of the small things?
The movement speed is better from Tekken 4 to 5.
Okay.
The character moves and combat abilities are much more easier, and they're much more proficient, and they're good, and they're pretty much worth it for the damage as well. And I think the game is really good looking for the PS2. I think that Tekken 4, I said that Tekken 4 was like a really good game for the PS2, but I feel like Tekken 5 took it a step further when it came to its graphics. Like, I think Bandai took the whole PS2 capabilities to its maximum potential, and they were able to make this game pretty great.
Did this still come out as an arcade? We're now on PlayStation 2. Did it come out as an arcade game and then release?
Tekken 5 came out in arcades really early in Japan, and there were a lot of the whole Asia versus Japan thing happened because one person came over to Japan with his devil gene and started rocking a bunch of other people down, and then when he went to Japan tournaments, he absolutely got bodied down by people in the tournament. But eventually they all ended up having like practice tournaments, and they all ended up just fighting, and then the same guy who lost to all those Japan players was able to take them down one by one, which started the whole Japan versus Korea thing that's happening.
What's that?
It's like tournaments and stuff like that where where Europe, well, I think Europeans and Japan people in Japan just fight each other in fighting game tournaments.
And then now Korea's
Wait, what?
Korea's in the mix now? Now Korea's in
I'm
those
not sure.
tournaments?
No, I think I got Korea. I don't think it was Korea. It was just Europe and Japan.
Gotcha. Okay. What's your rating for Tekken 5, 1 to 10?
Tekken wait, what?
1 to 10.
I give it a straight up 10 out of 10. I give this game a 10 out of 10. I feel like this game fixed what people had with Tekken 4 and improved upon it and made the game a lot more better. Like, they gave us the fast-paced action that they had in Tekken 3, and then they gave us a much more, damage orientation way from Tekken 4 all the way up to now. I feel like this game's pretty good.
I was just reading through the pamphlet. There's like it seems like there's an arcade mode where you can play Tekken 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, there is. I played them all. It's pretty great, honestly, for what they did. I'm glad that they finally, recognized the series that they did and were straight up able to make the games a lot more better on that one. I think the arcade history mode is pretty good. But either way, like, the ending of the story left me a little bit surprised. So, technically, Kazuya's ending isn't really canon to the series. The only person's ending that's canon in the story mode is Jin's ending. So Jin meets Jinpachi and takes him down, and eventually, instead of leaving and not taking the role as the head of the Mishima Zaibatsu, instead of leaving, he just stays there and takes his role as the head of the Mishima Zaibatsu. And I'm just wondering, now that Jin is the leader of this organization, what's he gonna do with all this power? And eventually he just goes over and sits on the chair and just smiles, thinking that he's finally gonna do something. But we don't really know. We just left ambiguous about what's gonna happen until the next game comes out.
Good ending, I think.
I mean, it's a good mysterious one. I think that's how you really do a good ending and tell us that, wait for the next game. We're gonna talk about this ending.
So Jin takes over the Mitsuma Kaibatsu.
Yeah, the Zaibatsu. Yeah.
Heihachi is defeated, right? He's presumably dead.
Yeah, he's presumably dead. That's what we're supposed to think.
What about Kazuya?
Well, Kazuya, he basically went over to G Corp and killed all the people that turned against him and became the leader of the G Corp.
G Corp.
Yeah, he's now the leader of the G Corporation
wow.
now. I mean, he didn't really do anything to them. I don't understand why G Corp decided to betray him. I mean, I think he had every right to turn against the G Corp because they tried to hurt him, and he's just trying to get back at them for what they were trying to do to him.
And that was from 4. G Corp came.
Yeah, they came
in
into
Tekken
4. Yeah,
gotcha.
They helped revive him after Heihachi threw him in a volcano at the end of Tekken 2.
yes.
Good recall, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Great job.
Yeah, I'm paying attention to this Tekken thing. I'm really trying to keep up. The introduction of Jinpachi. It's kind of a lot of characters. I kind of wish they named Jinpachi a little differently because now it's like, okay, Heihachi, there's Jin, and now there's a Jinpachi. Like maybe they should have got more creative with the name.
I mean, like a lot of people were wondering about why Jinpachi was so strong in the finale part. We don't know why he was like that until eventually, Tekken 5, you want to know the thing, this version of Tekken 5 that we got on the PS2, it's, technically, this version of Tekken 5 was incomplete, to be honest.
What do you mean?
Because they were missing a bunch of, eventually we did get something 1 year later, and that was the PSP port of Tekken 5 known as Dark Resurrection. Dark Resurrection added, probably 3 different characters into the series. We have Armor King, Dragunov, and Lily. Lily is a character that's technically in there. She was basically kidnapped by people and was able to just learn the self-taught fighting style that she learned on her own by, mixing up a bunch of moves from different things and being able to make a fighting style for her to fight back against those people. And eventually Dragunov is a military leader and stuff. I think he's probably a Brazilian military leader and was able to just go to the Iron Fist tournament because he was looking for the Devil Gene. Mm-hmm. And I think Armor King is the armor. Apparently, Marduk. So when I said that Marduk killed the Armor King that King was, having as his master, he killed that guy. And then apparently there was another Armor King that attacked him. That attacked Marduk during the backstage and stuff, and Marduk went over to Armor King's funeral, and then we got to see another Armor King in there. There was a second Armor King because King looked at the picture and wondered, oh wait a minute, this guy has a brother, and then Armor King says, oh, I am Armor King, and Marduk says, no, you're not. I killed that Armor King last time. And then he said, no, you killed my brother. I was the original Armor King. Him and I were both tag brothers in wrestling matches. And
Wow.
and he says that I can't forgive you for what you did to my brother.
Loophole. They found a loophole.
Yeah,
they
now
did.
the Armor King that we see in the newer games, like that's the second Armor King we get to see. So Tekken 6 all the way up to 8 is gonna probably be the next Armor King that we get. We don't know much about Tekken 8's character pass because we just got Eddie Gordo first. We don't know what's gonna happen because we have to wait till summer, autumn, and then winter for them to basically give us the last 3 characters.
Got you.
I gotta say that Dark Resurrection is honestly pretty cool. You can even play as Jinpachi in this game after you unlock him in arcade modes.
Can
Got
you
you.
can you play as Jinpachi in Tekken 5?
Yeah, you could play as him in Dark Resurrection, but but for the original, like there was like a way how to do it. You basically have to install a mod onto the PS2 in order to be able to do that. Like you pick a character and then you press select afterwards, and then you'll be able to play as Jinpachi with that mod that you get from the game.
On Tekken 5, best player to play with.
Best player for me to play with, it's Devil Jin. My
Okay.
least favorite to play with would definitely be, I think, Xiao Yu again. I played her character story. I didn't really like playing as her that much. I mean, it's very difficult for me to get used to all these other characters. But I personally just like using Devil Jin the most out of all of them.
What about in terms of sales of Tekken 5? How'd it do? Because we saw.
It's probably like at the top 3 at one of the best selling Tekken games to come out because a lot of people really like Tekken 5.
Cool, yeah, because Tekken 4 like sold like nearly half of the amount that Tekken 3 sold, and it seemed like through Tekken 1, 2, and 3 sales were going up, and then Tekken 4 came out and it went down. But Tekken 5 it went back up.
It's pretty much like Tekken 5 is pretty much like a love letter to people who really love Tekken as a whole, who really
man.
appreciated the series for what it is.
That's
And
beautiful.
Yeah.
and I can see that from the message and what they were showing us. It's a pretty great video game. Probably one of the greatest Tekken games to come out for the generation of the PS2.
What year did this game come out? Like, how long did you have to wait after Tekken 4 to come out?
Like I think we had to wait like probably like a year or plus, or because like if you didn't know, the creator of Tekken, wait, hold on, could I?
Yeah, for sure.
Like the creator of Tekken, this game came out probably around I think 2006 or something, or maybe 2004, where the PS2 was still there because the creator of the series, Harada, ended up leaving the series after the big failure that happened with Tekken 4, and he had to spend and then he left it for about a whole year, and then eventually the people at Bandai tried their best to get him back, and he did come back, and eventually they were able to make Tekken 5 afterwards. Honestly, I feel kind of bad for him because I feel like I felt like he had to take some space out of developing the next game and just being able to put his mind at ease for what happened last time. I feel bad for him, but I mean, it's what happens. I mean, he did that because of what the big humongous hurdle he had to go through with Tekken 4 people who hated it.
Yeah, but he had a redemption with Tekken 5.
Yeah, Super
So-
Redemption.
Yeah.
What about like voice acting?
I
And,
think the
and
voice
soundtrack.
I think the voice acting was pretty good when it came to that. I think the soundtrack is probably one of my favorites to talk about. I really like some of the songs in Tekken 5. I think the character select theme was really good. It's probably my favorite one to have. I do like Moonlit Wilderness though.
Cool. Should we listen to that?
Yeah. We'll take a quick listen.
I think when it comes to all the character select themes, I think Tekken 5 has one of the best ones to begin with. It's really good, honestly.
It is really good. I really enjoyed listening to that just now. Like it's kind of mixed between club music, like EDM music, and rock.
It has that
metal.
punchy.
Punchy.
It just has that punchy sound that just feels like a fighting game song.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll get you going.
Mhm.
It'll definitely get you going for a game.
It is.
Yeah. Which one did you like? You say you like both of those.
Yeah,
What were the names of them again?
Huh?
What were the names of them again?
Tekken 5's for the PS2 one, it was called Who's Afraid Of.
Yeah.
And for Dark Resurrection, it was called Driving Beats.
Driving Beats.
Got you.
And Dark Resurrection is a PSP Tekken game.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, it's like, Tekken 5.1.
I mean,
Could
I
we
guess so.
consider
It
it
had
that?
there was for Dark Resurrection there was a PSP version, and then there was also a PS3 port that allowed you to play online with people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was like probably the first Tekken game to ever introduce online, unless if we're talking about like the actual PS3 version of Tekken 6, it was actually the online version of Tekken 6 that introduced it. But I feel like Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection on the PS3 introduced online multiplayer first.
Okay. I guess we'll get into that in Tekken 6.
Yeah. Because
Mhm.
also with Tekken 6, are we still on? Now we're moving to PS3.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
where.
so that's
yeah,
a huge change.
that's where Tekken. Yeah, because Tekken 3. I mean not Tekken 3. Like Tekken 6. That's where we move on to the PS3 generation because that's like where the PS3 came out, and that's where they start focusing more development on that one.
So PS2 is just 4, 5, and 5 was on the upswing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Mhm.
Good.
Anything else?
Anything else?
Not much really.
No.
Nah.
Cool. Sounds good. That's a
We
wrap.
already did the rating. What was the
I
rating?
think I gave
Oh, yeah.
I gave Tekken 5 a whole 10 out of 10 on that one.
Wow.
10.
Okay. Awesome.
So Tekken 1, 10 out of 10 on first generation. PS2, Tekken 5, 10 out of 10. And then I guess we'll move on into PS3
Yeah.
generation next.
Tekken 3 was also 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
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 135.
Yeah, that was really great.
Chords. Cool. Yeah, I guess that's a wrap.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll
You
see
good?
you guys in the next
Henry's podcast.
Henry's
Yeah.
podcast and
We'll
talks.
see you all the next time for Tekken 6.
See
y'all next
y'all.
time.
Peace.
Later.